for a melody on me. Oh, melody on me. A little bit of clay bentonite to make me nozzle. Just playing with my fireworks. I love playing with my fireworks. I'll put a little bit more clay in there. A little bit more clay. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that. Let's ram a clay nozzle. Oh, thank you. Already got a like. Already got a like. Yay, baby. Yay, baby. Oh my goodness gracious. Zip Morello and Camera and Nush and Drew are all saying hi. Yo, yo, yo. It's Richard. It's Stale Shady playing in his workshop, making his fireworks. I'm ramming rocket motors. I already rammed 3 rocket motors, and I'm going to ram some more. And I'm going to light them off tonight. Flush says hello, and Drew says, I'm a good YouTuber. The best YouTuber. That's very nice. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it, you guys. Thank you, though. So, I'm just going to keep trucking and make Zip Morello. Thank you. Nice. Zip says nice. Just making my rockets, you guys. Making my rocket motors. Doing my thing. I just rammed the nozzle. Oh, that's perfect. Starting to get the hang of this better and better every day. I'm going to start adding some fuel. I just made this fuel. It's black powder with a little bit of sponge titanium for a sparky effect. Sparky tail is what I'm looking for. Sparky tail. Just adding some fuel. I'll use this drift one more time because I don't want to accidentally hit the spindle with metal on metal, it could cause a spark, and we don't want sparks. Not now, anyway. So. Now I'm done with this drift, and I'll start using the flat drift. Because I know I'm past that piece of metal sticking up. So no more risk of sparks. How make a firework? Yes. Making rockets. Fish. I'm going to subscribe. Oh, thanks, Fish. Thanks for subscribing, Fish. I appreciate it. Yo, yo, yo. You make me happy when you guys subscribe. Trying to get the word out. Teach people how to make fireworks, man. Why not? Rockets are easy to make. Probably one of the easiest. Black powder rockets are probably the easiest firework to make. You don't have to press them. You can safely ram them. You don't have to deviate much from the black powder. So it's pretty easy. Fireworks are pretty easy. Black powder rockets are pretty easy. When I ram this black powder like this, I'm creating a solid chunk. A solid, something like this. But the whole length of the tube. See how that's a solid chunk of black powder. I'm creating something like this, but inside the tube. Inside the tube like this. I burst one of my tubes yesterday, so I unpeeled the tube, and this is what I got out of it. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm trying to accomplish, but inside the tube. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. When you're ramming rockets, you can't put the fuel in all at once. You have to do it in increments or a rocket won't work. You have to do it in increments. I usually divide it up into like 10 or so increments. 10 increments, little less, little more. But that's about right. Each increment is about a ½ inch. Every time I put this drift in, the drift will be about a ½ inch higher each time. And here's how you could tell that. You see this O-ring? So when I add the black powder, that O-ring will probably come up to around here the next time. See, it's about a ½ inch. About a heaping teaspoon. That's a little much, actually. Not quite a heaping teaspoon. A heaping teaspoon, but not a crazy heaping teaspoon. Now watch. See? Just like I said, about a ½ inch. Black powder is the only rockets you can ram. You can't ram whistle rockets. You cannot ram whistle fuel. Too shock sensitive, it'll explode. But if you're going to make whistle rockets, you press them. That's a press right there. And you see my safety glass? I never had an accident, but in case I ever did have an accident, that glass would protect me. But I never had an accident. Joe Schmo is back. What's up, Joe? I love that handle. Who's the Amish gangster? That's Joe's saying. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, fellas? Playing in my shop. I'm a pyro and I love fireworks. I can't help it. Just whipped up a new batch of rocket fuel black powder. I added sponge titanium for special effects. I'm going to make several rockets and do another live stream tonight and shoot them off right around when it gets dark. Probably around 3 or 4 o'clock my time. Gets dark around 8:30 my time. So 3-4 hours. I'll be lighting these babies off. And I'll live stream it. It's a little much. Remember, a heaping teaspoon. That's how much fuel increments I make for 3/4 inch tubing. Nothing much, brother. How are you? Joe Schmo, I'm pretty good, Joe Schmo. I love the handle. Joe Schmo, I really do. Joe Schmo, man, that's great. That's funny shit, man. Makes me want to come up with a different handle. Something like Rich Bitch. Yeah, that's a good one. Rich Bitch. Or Stale. I don't know. Stale something. Something that rhymes with stale. Or Shady maybe. I don't know. But I like Joe Schmo. Has a good ring to it. Yeah, baby. We just had a couple thunderstorms. It coughed a lot. It was hotter than all heck, and now it's a little cooler. I'll explain exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. We're still in the ramming process. You guys. I could tell by the way the sound goes up, the pitch goes up. I could just tell that it's consolidated. Caitlin! Yo, 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 Caitlin. Caitlin's back. Glad to have Caitlin back. Caitlin checks in every now and then, and he's here today. My man, Caitlin. My friends, my subscribers are here for me. I'm going to put this up against this so it doesn't move around as much. Yeah, baby. About halfway there. See, another perfect half-inch every time. This is what I'm shooting for, Caitlin. A solid chunk of black powder similar to that, but inside the tube. The reason why you don't see this here is because I have a sleeve around it. These tubes are junk. If I tried to ram it with no sleeve, this tube would crumble. So this sleeve helps give this tube more integrity so it doesn't bust or crack. I could tell by the sound of the pitch, and also I can also see that the drift doesn't go down anymore. It goes down a little bit at first, and then it stops, and then I know that I got this solid chunk going. That's what I'm going for. Yo, 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 Bust, man. It's my man, Bust. Mopoke. You guys see Bust as Mopoke. My subscriber, Mopoke Bust. The man in the land with a plan. Bust. Mopoke. My man, pots and pans, rubber bands. In case you're wondering, Bust, my Roni's got an ear infection, but it's getting better. I've got the dog ear drops, and he's much better. He's much better than he was yesterday. So that's why I'm not taking him down the woods. I'm trying to take it easy, sitting in the air conditioner right now. My hairy son, the dog, you guys, that's what I'm talking about. Mopoke knows my dog. Yo, yo, yo. I'm your friend too, pal. Don't you forget it. Mopoke's been with me for a while now. Tunes in quite often. Tunes in quite often. Yeah, it's feeling pretty good. I like the way it feels. Oh, that's kind of big. There we go. That's a little better. The black powder consolidates better when you do it in smaller increments. That's why I do it in increments. I could feel it in my finger. 3, maybe 4 more increments, and we'll move on to the next step. Perfect. Another 1/2 inch. Getting there. in there. All right, I'm satisfied with that. Now I'm going to plug it. Going to plug it up with what they call bentonite clay. Glad to hear Roni is doing better. Yes, I was very concerned, my friend. It was actually ruining my day. I love that dog so friggin' much. But I'm happy. I had the ear drops from the last time he got the bad ear. So I have plenty of medicine left over, and it seemed to work right away. I dosed him up yesterday. By the second dose after dinner time, I saw improvement, and when I got up this morning, the dog's ear looks much better. Thank you for being concerned, my friend. Thank you. Mopoke knows how important my dog is to me, Caitlin, and that's why he's saying that. That's why he's trying to relate with me, and I appreciate it. Okay, gonna put a clay plug in there now. A clay plug. This is called bentonite clay. It's just like kitty litter. Matter of fact, it is kitty litter. It's like unscented kitty litter. I'll show you what I mean. It kind of looks like kitty litter, right? Can you see that? Maybe you can't see it, but it's kitty litter. Acts like a plug. I got two kinds of bentonite clay. This has chunks in it, and the chunks sort of grab onto the side of the tube to prevent slippage. At that point, they call it grog. Fireworks lingo. That's all. I'm going to get that black powder off right there. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to cut it off with a razor blade. It's so moist out, that's why this happened. There we go. See, now it's just a flush aluminum. All right, I'm going to make the end plug. Okay, so what just happened is I ran the nozzle with the clay, and you'll see it, and I ran the section. It's going to have a solid chunk of black powder, but the whole length of this, not the whole length of the tube, but most of the length of the tube, that's what's on the inside of this tube. And then I put a plug at the end. So now I'm going to take it off the spindle. Take the sleeve off first. Again, the reason I put a sleeve on is because if I were to try to ram this just without a sleeve, this tube would crush. It'd be a waste of time. So let's see how it looks, guys. I'm taking it off the drift. Tightening up my set screw real quick. There we go. Aha. Okay. So there's my nozzle. Let me get a light so you might be able to see that better. So when the black powder burns, it'll shoot fire out of that little tiny hole. That's called a nozzle. And just like any rocket you see in life, that's how rockets work. what I'm doing now is I'm making sure that I'm into the actual fuel. I want to see a little bit of black powder on the tip of this drill bit. I see some, but I want to see more. Okay, yes, I'm into the fuel. So now that I know when I stick a fuse in there, when the fuse gets up to the black powder, it'll definitely light because I know that I'm into the fuel. Okay. So I'm going to move the camera over here. And I'm going to start gluing fins on and doing things like that. These things here are going to be my fins. I made them out of craft sticks, big popsicle sticks. That's what I made them out of. I'm going to rinse my hand. I got a little bit of water right here. I'm going to rinse my hands. Get this crap off my hands. Makes me feel better. Plug my glue gun, let it heat up. Oh, you know what I did the other day, you guys? Let me show you. I'm tired of buying fuse, so I made a ton of my own. I'll show you what I mean in a second. The same black powder that I used to ram the rockets, I put in this bowl, like a cake dish, and I add a little bit of water, and then I get cotton string, and I knead the string into the black powder slurry. And what I wind up with, I'll show you. I stretch it out between I stretch it out and let it dry in the sun. And this is what I end up with. Stale doesn't have to buy fuse for a while. Lots of fuse. And right before it dries, I wrap this around a 5-gallon bucket. And when it dries permanently, it's stiff like that. So a nice stiff fuse. It'll probably last me the rest of the summer. So I'm not buying any fuse anytime soon. There's a piece. See how it's stiff? I'll show you how it works. It works really well. If I have a lighter, do I have a lighter? I'll light it to show you if I have a lighter on. No. Oh well. Maybe a little bit later. But that's what it does. All right, glue gun heating up. Going to check all these. Probably going to add a little flash powder to each and every one. And this way, when the fuel's done burning, you'll get that loud boom when it hits the flash powder. I made this flash powder about a week ago. So what I need to do is I need to drill a hole in that plug that I created. So when the fire passes to the flash powder and you get your boom. And then I'll show you what I do. I'll show you what I do, when I do it, how I do it. So where's my head at? All right. First thing is I need to drill a hole through the plug so the fire will pass through. And the way I know that I'm through is I will see the darker color on the tip of the drill bit. I think I'm there. Just want to double check. Yes. Okay, there's one. Do another one. That glue gun should be heating up by now. I think I'm through there also. I'll know in a second. Yes, I'm into the black powder. Okay. I'm going to leave that one be for certain reasons. One more, and I'll add the flash powder. I'll glue the fins on. I think I'm there with this one. Just going to double check. Yes, okay. So I'll say it again. Once the fuel burns, it'll pass fire. I'm going to add an explosive charge to this, which is this stuff. And since I'm doing this far from my house these days, I'll put a little more flash powder in there so we get a significant boom. When I do this right out back of my house, I don't put much flash powder in there because it's very loud. But I found a good spot to shoot my fireworks off where I don't bother the neighbors or my dog. So I'll put more flash powder in there and we'll get a better boom. More bang for your buck. I don't want to put too much. All three of these are going to be really nice bangs. Put my flash powder away. And then I'll top it off with glue. Actually, I'm going to use my bigger glue gun. I'm going to put a significant amount of hot glue down the end of those tubes. So I'm going to plug this baby in as well. I'll use the small glue gun just to put the fins on. All right, that's on. That's heating up. Let's put some fins on. I love glue guns are a pyro's best friend. Before glue guns, we had to use plain old-fashioned glue, and you'd have to wait a whole day. Now you wait 30 seconds. Sometimes I put 3 fins, but I'm going to put 4 fins on these rockets because yesterday's rocket, one of the fins broke off and the rocket flew wild. So 4 fins will offer better stability. That'll be hard in a minute. I got these craft sticks at like a Dollar General, and I cut them on an angle, and that's how I make my fins. Fins are us. Then I'll glue a straw on here because I'll use it like a model rocket. You know, I don't know if you guys ever had model rockets. Mr. Donut, yo, yo, yo. Oh, you guys are having your conversation. Terrific. Go right ahead. And these straws are what I use for my launch lugs. Very simple, plain and simple. Nothing complicated about it. Poor Ozzy. Can you believe Ozzy Osbourne's gone? At least he's with Randy Rhoads now, his guitarist. Ozzy, man. And that other guy died, the dude from the Cosby Show. Man, celebrities have been dying lately. It's horrible. Costa Rica. Dude was swimming in Costa Rica. Just so you can see how that looks. There. See how quick that hot glue dries, man? It's good stuff, man. Dries in a snap. When you're impatient like me, this is good stuff. You don't have to wait around. Instant gratification. So this should be heating up by now, and remember I put the flash powder in the top of these guys? Well, I'm going to add hot glue onto the top of that and seal off that flash powder. That way the flash powder will have a much louder bang because it's confined. 100 by light was up like newborn in the middle of the night. Oh boy. Keeping you awake, huh, bro? I hate when that happens. Do, 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 do. Another launch lug. Make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. 2 down. Oh, we got to put the caps on. Remember, I told you I was going to put a slug of hot glue up top here. And that's what I just did. Nice slug of hot glue on the top to seal off that flash powder. And I'm going to do the same with these guys. There we go. One more. Alright. This gun's bigger. That glue's going to take a couple minutes to cool as opposed to the smaller glue gun. Turn that baby off. Let me cut a couple more launch lugs. I'll put my fins on while we're waiting. See this here? That's little strings of that hot glue. See that? They come right off in the end. It's kind of messy, but it's easy to clean up. Gonna clean it up. There we go. Get that string all out of there. Somebody else died too. It was Ozzy, the dude from the Cosby Show, and somebody else famous just passed away. What a shame. Makes me appreciate every day I'm alive. That's the truth, man. Life is very fragile, and we are blessed. And I don't take it for granted. I'm very happy that I have my health. My dog has its health. That's all that matters to me. I don't need a drone or a log splitter. It'd be nice if I had a drone and a log splitter, but I'm happy just to have my health. There we go. Another one done. I want to get that messy string off it. I might have to put three fins on this one. I'm not in the mood to make another one right this second. I'm going to look to see if I have one handy. Guess what? I do. So 4 fins it gets. Stable flight. Oops. I'm going to make that a little straighter. That's better. Doesn't have to be perfect. But the more perfect you get it, the better you are. So you don't want to do it half-assed. You know? If you're doing it, you might as well do it right. Get that set up. Oh, one more launch lug. Put that right about here. I like that. right before I fly these, I'll go around with the hot glue gun again and put a bead of hot glue just to make sure they're very secure. All right, now I'm going to make a couple nose cones. I use the this is just plain old packing tape is all this is. And the way I make a nose cone is just like that. It's water activated, so I just lick it. Let the glue dry. And you don't really need nose cones, but I just put them on because it looks cool, but it does give the rocket, it cuts through the air better. The rocket will fly straighter. So between the fins and the nose cone, these babies should fly pretty straight. Watching this guy on YouTube. He calls himself Crazy Ken, and he debunks all these gadgets that make all these outrageous claims. You know, like that lighter that's supposed to be military grade and melts metal. He debunks all these things, all them advertisements that are total bullcrap. And I love the way he's very funny when he does it, when he debunks them. Crazy Ken, he calls himself. That military grade lighter, and also, and what else was there? A flashlight that was supposed to be real bright. He debunked that one. He's got like 100 shows. All these fake advertisements, he debunks them all. Crazy Ken, he calls himself. I like the guy. He's pretty funny. So I just cut it off like this. And then I hold it up. If it's close, then I'm happy. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just close is good enough. That's pretty close, right? Wouldn't you say? Plop that baby on. Instant nose cone. Make this shit up as I go, man. Said, how you gonna get a nose cone? You gonna buy one off Estes Rocket Supply? No, you're gonna make it on your own. Come on, you jerk. That rocket's a little tilty, a little too much of a tilt. That'll work. So I'm going to light these babies off when it gets dark tonight, weather permitting. What time is it? It's 4:30. So in like another 4 hours, when it gets dark around here, I'll be lighting these babies off. You don't remember that song, Stale Shady. Blinded by the light, born in the middle of the night. Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche and not a runner in the night. Blinded by the light. I'm going to get my lighter. I'm going to show you how good my homemade fuse works. It's so humid that it got limp again. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, I'm going to grab my lighter. I'll be 2 seconds. Just closing some of my containers off before I start playing with fire in here. Unplugging my glue gun. All right, show you how good my homemade fuse works. I made this stuff, man. First of all, notice how quick it's going to light. Get this out of the way. When I light this green fuse, I got to hold the lighter on it for a couple seconds, and then the store-bought fuse will light. The second the flame touches that, this fuse will light. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, it's so moist out, it's not working. The rain fouled this up. It'll get better when it's not terrible, but the rain did mess it up. It just pulled the moisture right out of the air. That's amazing what a little bit of rain will do. That's more like it. Homemade fuse. I love fire. I'll light a little black powder off. I'll show you how good my black powder is. This is a little dab of that rocket fuel I was just working with. That probably got moist too. Friggin' rain. As soon as the air dries though, it'll stiffen back up. Watch when it hits the black powder. Cool, huh? Let me show you how fast flash powder is. This stuff's no joke. This is the flash powder right here. It's going to put a little tiny bit out. Wait, this stuff is so fast. That's about a 3-inch long, very narrow line. If that was black, can you see my hand? Yes. If this was black powder, that would take 1 or 2 seconds to burn. But flash powder is so fast, that whole thing will burn in less than an eighth of a second. It'll go puff, and it'll be blinding. Son of a bitch. The moisture just crept in and messed up my fuse. But when it dries up, it'll be all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. See what I'm saying? That flash powder's quick stuff. Woo! I can't even see. Flash powder, baby. That's why it's so explosive. I can't read the phone. You guys saying anything? I'm blinded by the light. KDO. Amazing. Ain't that amazing, KDO? Look at my stuff. I'm going to have to set this stuff out in the sun for an hour because it rained around here, got real humid, and moistened up all my goodies. But it'll dry back up. It'll dry up again. I know from experience. Look at that cherry bomb, KDO. It's the last time you saw a cherry bomb. I was lighting some of my firecrackers off the other day, and they were nice. I got a new spot where I shoot my fireworks off. It doesn't bother anybody. It's not near my house. I take a walk down to these power lines that are about a quarter mile from here. No houses, nice clearing, power lines. It's got to be clear. So I can shoot my rockets right up into the air. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful. So yeah, man. I'll have 4 rockets to shoot off tonight when it gets dark. I'll make a couple more. I'll make some smaller ones. I'll put a nose cone on these 2 guys. Not now. I'll do it later. So yeah, man. Everything's cool. Here, check this. I mixed my meal powder with some water and made like a slurry. And then I dipped the cotton string, and that's how I made my fuse. I made a lot of it. But just like, you know, when you lick the bowl when you're a little kid, when you make a cake, well, instead of icing, I get actual black powder. Now, I could crush that up and reuse it over again, but let's just play with it while we're here. Why not, right? Why not? Let's play with fire some more. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. Put a couple chunks there. Little piece of fuse, even though it's totally wet from the damn humidity. And this will make a nice little... This ain't flash powder now, but this is just plain old black powder. And the fuse is so wet, it's not working. Boy, I'm asking for trouble, aren't I? There we go. Woo! See how much slower black powder is compared to flash powder? Big difference, man. Also, that's pulling the humidity out of the air. That's why it's burning so slow. No bugs, though, with all this smoke. Chase all the bugs out of here. And a little more powder we'll play with. Why not? Why the heck not? Whee! Don't you love fireworks? Isn't fireworks fun? I could do this all day. What do we got here? Just more fuels. You guys get the point, though. I'm not going to do this much more. So I guess that's it, man, for now. I just wanted to keep you guys in touch. Oh, Grant. What's up, Grant? I just made some rockets, bro. All 3/4 inch. I'm going to shoot them off again tonight down by the power lines. Somewhere around 8:30. Maybe I'll schedule it. So any of my subscribers that might be interested can come check it out. Stale will do it. And he'll also, maybe I'll whip up some more firecrackers too. We'll get a couple bangs going. Why not, right? Why the hell not? Thank you, Grant. Grant's throwing me some smiley faces. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I guess I'm going to end the stream for now, you guys. But I'll be back. Promise. And Richard always keeps his promises. Always, always, always. So I'll talk to you real soon, guys. Stay in touch, Richard. Love.